The album gets pushed up because of huge demand. The numbers come back, and in 5 days, it sells 872,000 copies, making it the largest debut and hip-hop album of all time. How did that feel?
Yo, not a lot of artists was selling 872,000 in the first week or period total. So when he did that the first week, I'm like, what the? And I'm like, hold on, son. Like, I'm happy Interscope and Shady and Aftermath had them already printed and everything was ready, so that they could meet the demand and everything. The belief was there, so everything worked out perfect. There was nothing that got lost, missed out. You know what I mean? Sometimes people don't print enough, have enough, and the turnaround is not fast enough, and then you miss out on sales. Yo, we succeeded, and in the second week it was again, and then everything just started charting, and everything on the album became singles just because people were just picking their favorites. The touring, I mean, that year alone, 2003, I only got to be back home for 20 days the whole year. You know what I'm saying? That's 365 days. I'm only home in New York, see my family for 20 days the whole year. Next year was almost the same thing. We was hitting the road performing every day, and if we wasn't performing, we was shooting a video off the album. That was the routine. You know what I'm saying? And then once we got to that, we started recording on the road, and that's where everything else started happening outside of the house. We never went back to my house after that. Everything was on the road, or wherever we whatever city we was in, we get find a studio.
I read that the album was undershipped. Interscope, especially in New York, undershipped it, and they sold out copies immediately there.
You know what's crazy? If it didn't sell a lot, like if they didn't have enough in New York and undershipped, man, the money, I'm still good. So I mean, I ain't dead, man. But hey, they still now we streaming, so everything getting counted for. Every stream, every penny. There's no more bootlegging going on. Even though the streaming numbers ain't the same, but it's still getting calculated, and it's a blessing. So, I mean, hey, that's then. But hey, they learned, and then they kept pressing them after, and now we here, succeeded, and we did that. So I ain't tripping. No, yeah, just let's talk about this. In 5 days, 872,000, 5 days, not even a whole week. You know what I'm saying? And it was some shit bootlegged and all in the streets that was out there where the cheaper people was buying that. You know what I mean? So those numbers ain't even accounted for, and that's just. And if you talk about the undershipment, imagine what that number looked like. So he went platinum the first week. Let's just say that.
And in the second week of sales, it was 822,000. And in the history of music, that was never done before, where the second week almost matched the first week sales. There was no drop.
So when the second week hit and the number was like 10% different, 850 or 840, whatever, we was like, what the and hey, like the second week we still doing the same number. He recouped the same month the album came out. He didn't owe them nothing. After that, he started making money. You know how many artists take over 15 years just to recoup on one album? You know how many albums I work with that I know still are unrecouped? That shit recouped the same year, the same month. Crazy, man. Crazy. Unheard of, man. Unheard of. For real.
In the green since the release.
In the green since the release, man.
That is crazy.
Got rich. He died trying, though. But we got it, you know what I mean? Nah, we got rich. That's it.
If you want to see this full interview without having to wait, you can join our YouTube memberships program for just $8 a month. You get the full interview, behind the scenes footage, and no ads. If you want more, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/diverse mentality. And for $10 a month, you can not only get these full interviews immediately, but also get uncut and ad-free documentaries as well. The link is in the description for both. For those of you that don't know, this Shaw Money XL interview is from my 2023 Get Rich or Die Trying documentary, where I go around interviewing producers and engineers that worked on that album for the making of the process of that album. So check out that documentary in the description below.